How's it going, everybody? This is Andre here with the Kevin Breeze channel, and this is tips, tricks, and hidden features for the BLU G91. Today, I'm going to be showing you some things about this phone that you might not know about. To get more information about the pricing and availability of the phone, as always, be sure to check the link in the description because that stuff is always changing. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to go over is how you can customize your home screen. Now, this is probably one of the first things you're going to want to do once you get the phone. It's probably the most fun as well. Once you're setting up the phone, what's better than to make it all your own, really personalize it to your taste? Of course, you can do this through the regular settings menu, but it is a little bit trickier because the stuff is not all in one place. So I'm going to show you a super easy, simple way to get all your home screen settings at once. So all you need to do is take one finger and hold it on the screen like this, and this is gonna pop up. This is gonna have, of course, your home settings, different widgets you can use, wallpapers, all the stuff you're gonna need to personalize your home screen and really make it your own. The next thing I wanna go over is how to customize your navigation bar. Now this, of course, is these three buttons down here. The phone does come standard looking like this. There is the option of gesture navigation, which I will get to later. But for now, I'm gonna show you how to do some things to this navigation bar to customize it a little bit and make it suit your taste a little better. So we're gonna go to settings, go up to the search bar and search navigation bar. So once we're in the navigation bar menu, we have a few options here. So this is gonna allow you to change the order of the buttons. So you might want to have them reversed. So the back button is on the right side. The home button is of course gonna be in the center as usual. And the recent apps is gonna be on the left side. Or you might like it the opposite. So you can change the order of the buttons as well. And you can also choose a background color for the navigation bar. And this is really neat. This is actually my first time seeing a background color option on a navigation bar. It may be on other devices and I might have just not noticed it. But I think this is a really cool feature because it allows you to add a lot of personalization to it and really make it look the way you want. And of course, if these colors don't really fit your taste, you can always go on this nice color wheel and choose pretty much any color you want. And I think that's really nice because if you do like the navigation bar in general, this phone really allows you to personalize it a lot more than most do. Now, while we're on the subject of system navigation, I'm gonna show you something else called gesture navigation. Now, if you don't like the navigation bar at all, and you don't like pressing buttons and this and that, well, you're gonna really like this feature because this is a completely different way of navigating your phone that's been more recently introduced to Android, and this is gesture navigation. So to get gesture navigation, as you would probably guess, we're gonna toggle this on, and this is gonna replace the navigation bar with this little bar right here. So if you're not familiar with gesture navigation, there are a couple things you're gonna wanna know. So instead of pressing a home button, in order to go home, all you need to do is swipe up. And to go to your recent apps, instead of pressing a recent apps button, you're gonna drag a finger up from the bottom like this. And your recent apps will be here just like they would if you pressed a recent apps button. And then to go back, instead of pressing a back button, you're gonna slide a finger from left to right. So gesture navigation is a really cool way to navigate your system. And if you don't like having a bunch of buttons at the bottom, this is a really nice alternative. Now, the next thing I'm gonna show you is screen time. Do you ever wonder how much time you actually spend on your phone doing things like social media, YouTube, whatever it may be that you distract yourself with throughout the day? Well, I'm gonna show you how you can actually get all of this information. So you're gonna go to settings. We're gonna scroll down to apps, which is right here, apps and notifications. And right here, we see screen time. Now, screen time is gonna tell you how much time you spend on the phone in general, and it's also gonna tell you how much time you spend on each app, and that's not all of it. It also allows you to set timers for your apps. So how this works is you choose the app that you wanna set a time limit for, you set the time limit, and once you spend that amount of time on the app, it's gonna shut the app off for the day. And it's a really good way of restricting yourself. If you have a habit of using a certain app and you don't want to use it as much, then it's a good way to do that. It's also good for things like parental controls, so many different uses for screen time. Even if you have a situation where your battery is draining or something like that, screen time might be a good way for you to look into how you're using your apps and help you determine which ones are draining the battery. But all in all, screen time has a lot of different uses, especially when it comes to time management. It's a really good feature to know about. All right, so the next thing is gonna be a little bit about screenshots. So the normal way to take a screenshot that pretty much everybody knows is to press the power key and the volume down key like that. There we go, pretty simple, but I'm gonna show you an alternative way to do this. So we're gonna go to settings, go to our search bar again, and type 3-finger screenshot. Once we're here, we're gonna toggle this on, and now, instead of just pressing the volume down button and the power button, all you need to do is put 3 fingers on the screen and swipe, and that's gonna take the screenshot for you. I think this is a really cool feature. I've seen it a lot in the more mid to high-end phones like the Samsung Galaxy A51 and a lot of the flagship phones, but it's really nice to see it being implemented in these more entry-level phones as well. While we're on this menu, the other cool feature I want to talk about is something called flip to silent. Now this is a really cool feature. If you're getting an incoming call that you don't want to answer, say you're busy or whatever the case may be, we can activate flip to silent. And with this feature activated, if you get an incoming call that you don't want to answer, all you need to do to mute it is just put the phone face down and it's gonna mute the call for you. It's a really cool feature because instead of having to deal with rejecting the call or whatever you usually do, all you actually have to do is just put the phone face down and that's the end of it. So the next feature I'm gonna show you is a little bit of a basic feature, but it's actually one that I just noticed today. And this is screen recording. So all you need to do is pull down your notification center and see this little S right here. This comes by default on this phone, but if for whatever reason it's not there, all you have to do is open this tab right here, hit the thing that says super screenshot, and once you do this, there's the option to screen record. I think this is a really cool feature. iOS has had this for a really long time, and I don't know how long Android has had it. I'm sure it's been with Android for just as long, but I've gone that long without even noticing it's there. So it's a really cool feature that whatever you normally use your phone for, you're most likely gonna find useful at least once or twice every now and then. So the next thing I'm gonna go over, this is a pretty quick one, but it's really cool and useful all the same. This is an alternate way to open your camera. So normally you would of course just open the camera app, but you can also double click the power key and that's gonna open the camera as well. Usually, unless you set it to always do something, it's gonna ask which app you wanna use to open the camera. If you have multiple apps, like for example, an alternative app like Open Camera or something like Snapchat, whatever you have on your phone, it's gonna ask you, and you're gonna be able to select that. This is actually a really good opportunity to use something like Snapchat, where you might wanna capture something a little bit quicker than if you got out your normal camera for a normal photo. Whatever the case may be, it is there, and it's a lot easier than just searching for and opening the app. The next thing I'm gonna show you guys is a really popular and pretty common feature nowadays, and that is dark theme. Everybody likes dark mode these days, and I'm gonna show you how to get it really easily on this phone. So we're gonna hit settings, go to display, and then we're gonna toggle on dark theme. And there we have it. Dark theme is really cool. I personally use it by default. I'm pretty sure I haven't had my phone off dark theme since it was created, which was probably a really long time ago. I don't even remember. But there we have it. It's really easy to access if you want to. And in some ways, it can be a little easier on your eyes, especially if you're using the phone at night. So it's definitely a good thing to play around with too. The last thing I'm going to show you guys also happens to be in the display menu, and that is screen timeout. Have you ever had that situation where you're trying to look at something on your phone if you're reading or if you're showing somebody something and the screen just falls asleep? That's the worst, and I'm going to show you how to avoid that. So we're going to hit screen timeout right here. And for the purpose of these videos, I have mine all the way up to 30 minutes just because I don't want the screen to fall asleep while I'm doing these videos, but you can have yours as little as 15 seconds. I don't quite remember what it defaults to, but I know it is pretty short. I would suggest playing around with the setting yourself and seeing which one works best for you because there are downsides to each extreme. If you have it too short, then of course it's gonna fall asleep on you all the time when you don't want it to, but if you have it too long, you could easily leave it open without realizing it, and that drains the battery a ton, and you just don't want that to happen. So definitely play around with it and see which one works best for you. But it is nice to be able to customize this, because I can't imagine if it was set to one time, it definitely wouldn't work out for everybody. So it's nice that you can change this so easily. But this is tips, tricks, and hidden features for the BLU G91. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember, to get more information about this specific phone itself, be sure to watch the full review of the phone on the channel. But as always, I will see you guys in the next video.